was 35 years old. My name is John Dominguez. I was born in La Laguna, Chalatenango, El Salvador. I moved to New York February 19, 1990. I was 17. I moved to New York because I wanted to do something with fashion, first of all. But for the most part, El Salvador was living a war. So I was like, there was no future over there. They wanted El Salvador to become communist, and I didn't really want to be part of becoming a soldier. Like we saw a lot of different things, but we just wanted to come to make a better life for ourselves.
My name is Wallace Flood. I was born in South Carolina, 1970. A simple family, father worked, mother worked. Got the opportunity to come to New York. All the brothers just moved to New York. Yeah, Harlem.
Harlem?
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody goes to Harlem. And my stepbrother introduced me to the fashion industry. Went in for like shipping, packaging, and we was at 463 7th Avenue. The youngest member of the Montague family became the president of the company. And I used to carry the bags around to different showrooms. Like the showrooms, like all over Manhattan. You had to go to the client, like Gimbel's, and Macy's, and quite a few other stores. And one way back from one of them, he asked me what I wanted to do. So one day he said, "You want to stay in shipping, or you want to try with this new designer who likes you to come in and learn it?" I learned the last about a week. And the boss said, "You don't know what you're doing." So the fabric I use is called kite fabric. For flying kites and parachute fabric at zero give. That I did not know. So I got fired on the spot. Then rehired 10 minutes later. And been there for like about 5 years. At that time, but every manufacturing was like self-made. So like you had your cutting room across the hall, your designing room in the middle, main office, and you got your shipping. So I actually worked all the spots. And when they started hiring this young designer named Yi, and I used to go in there talking to Sad. She said, "Try this for me, try that for me." So I used to go home and rip up a shirt and learn how to see a little find out what balance, and she would give me certain little things to do. Just the foundation. And later on, I'll take evening class at Maya Fashion. It used to be on 8th Avenue and 35th Street. That's why these kids going in to learn how to sketch, balancing, draping, whatever you want to learn. And the main keys in the fashion world, a seamstress that likes you. They will take your time, they will show you how to do it. How to turn a collar, how to turn a sleeve, how to set it in, And then the head pattern maker, he used to give me little things to do. Everybody was very nice to me, because I was out of about 12 guys and girls in shipping. I was the only one interested in fashion, Pretty much passed out.
My goal was to come to New York because I already had a sister that was living in New York. And it took me a little minute to find a job. Probably I was 70 years old. Nobody wanted to give me a job. You're still a kid. You have to get mature regardless. Either you get mature, you know what you're doing, or you don't survive. It's there's no time to be a kid, because when I saw the gorillas, I said, this is not the life that I want to do. I want to choose what I want to do. I don't want to know like the government will tell me to do this. So I was looking for a job for probably a month and a half probably. I was looking for different places, but I actually wanted to work in the garment center. I heard that the garment center was good. You can do sewing, you can do cutting, you can do a lot of different things. My brother-in-law had a brother that worked in 35th Street in the corner, 35th and 8th Avenue. He worked there, so the person that gave me the job used to go there every morning to buy coffee, to buy breakfast. One day he asked him if you need anybody to work in your factory? And he said, yes, I need somebody actually to make deliveries. I would say, oh, it would be great if you can help somebody that I know. So he said, bring him tomorrow. I didn't know anything about, you come from the mountains, I spoke no English, didn't know anything about cities, I didn't know the names. My sister brought me the first day to my job. And she left me there, and so I started like regular, started like I wanted to learn English, because if I don't learn English, how am I gonna understand this person? So I started to pay attention, like study on my own, try to understand as much as possible. So as soon as I found out that there was a school in front of Madison Square Garden, which is called the New York Language Center, I started to go on Sundays to learn English. And so like I make deliveries for him for 6 months, but at the same time that I was making deliveries, I wanted to learn more about the job. I wanted to do grading, I wanted to do marking, I wanted to do like clothing, I wanted to like know how the work is. So he saw that I was kind of like very interesting about what I was doing. So like after 6 months, he said, you're not gonna be delivering anymore. You're gonna become, I wanna make you my manager. So I became a manager while I was there for 20 years.
My name is Peter Ruisi. I'm born in Brooklyn, New York. Right now I live in Staten Island. My families were all construction workers and roofing. My uncle had a roofing company. Everybody worked for him. I had to work. So my mom, I was going to college, and my mom said get a job, and one of my friend's cousin had a service. They did grading marking, and they were looking for somebody. And I started off working there on 35th Street when I was 17. So you want deliveries, you learn little things, But I was eager to learn. I wanted to learn. I don't care what you pay me, just teach me something. And they taught me how to mark. I just picked it up like this. Plus, I was always good with numbers. In school, I was always good with numbers. I worked there for like 3 or 4 years, and then there was a manufacturer job opening for a grader, actually a marker, not a grader. Heard about it, went up there, went for an interview. All right, they tried me out. The first marker I made for them, I screwed up. I forgot to put the sleeves in it, and I said, "Oh my God!" So they gave me another one to marker to make, and the pattern maker there was named Grover, and it was a company called Newport and this, and I made the second marker, and the copy machine tore it up, so I had to remake the marker. We had a copy machine, we used to copy markers in those days before we had computers. You had physically make copies. So I used to make the marker on the table, carbon, and the carbon used to be a machine, and the machine just whipped up the marker, so I had to remake it. When I remade the marker, I gave had to make the new yardage. And she was mad at me. She goes, "You screwed something up." I said, "What did I screw up?" She goes, "Your marker took like 2 yards less than the original marker." So we took the marker out, we counted all the pieces. All the pieces were there. Then I taped the marker back together. And the guy who made it before me was just not that good. When he told my boss about it, design, he came in. He said, 2 yards. It was almost about 9 inches of garments that I see. And they cut about 100,000 garments of that thing. Just think how much fabric they wasted, He ended up having me remake everything that guy made, and whatever it is. That was it. I worked there for 15 years, and I did marking, I did the grading. I also handled piece goods to the cutting room. I used to do all the production line, the promotion line, we call it, just to keep everybody working. When it was slow, we used to go to cutting rooms, take the fabric, bring it back, put some styles, tell some buyers come in, say, "Hey, we'll give you this for $20, whatever it is." Just keep everybody going, and that's what we used to do.
But the big beginning was when everybody used to read dashiki for selling. So I asked my mom to make me one. Point blank said, "No." I said, "Why? I mean, the older brother had one." "No, I'm not gonna make you one." I said, "Okay." So I cut my father's shirt, cut it up, started taking homemaking. in high school. One came out right. And I began to make them myself. That was the big thing. But when the girls got into it, more money. They wanted the dark secret, they wanted the dress. And they just keep going. You keep meeting a lot of very nice people who are mastering the skill. They're beautiful, they want to share it. 38th Street, 7th Avenue. There used to be a big diner there, huge. All the main pattern makers there. If you wanted a job, you don't go on unemployment. You go there. But they're the inside people, and they will tell you where to go, how to go, who to speak to. Walk in, you got a job, you got the price that you want. The other way unemployment doesn't get the real jobs. The word of mouth gets you the real job. There are a lot of Italians, and then when you see a black guy come along interested, hey, that's odd, you're not pushing the rack. I said, I always push the rack, and a young man by the name of Ned, me and Peter know him, and he took me on his thing when I left, the old fashioned, and he would show me how to do certain things. And the pattern would be made already, but he wanted to show me how you balance, how you set it in the sleeve, how you rotate it, So when you finish, if something wrong, you know how to tweak it without taking it all off. So it's not easy. Yeah, we all knew Mike, and Mike knew just about anybody because the pattern service, you come in contact with a lot of people. Then about the same place on 38th Street, the cafeteria, all some said everybody meet there, and I was introduced to him because he was working. Ned was working for the company that I started with, and over time we would see each other, we talk, chit chat, conversation, family, friends, whatever. And he said, "All I know about this guy." Go over to talk to him, and we hired him on the spot, And that's how I met John, and then I met Peter. So over time, we stopped working. The young man decided to call it quits, and he said, let us give it a shot, But he didn't want us to have the company, so we decided to get together and start our one. We walked just a half block away across the street and start our own company. And it's nervous but exciting, because we started getting clientele in pretty good, and everyone was pretty nice with it, nothing crazy, but we all got our own little emotional part about it. Like I'm not a talkative person. John talks for everybody. Peter come and talk a little, and Peter mostly politics. I mean, I don't want to listen to politics, but I listen because he's right there. And that's how we met and came up with the name for it. They've been together ever since.
And we were already like JPW. Peter was already working, and Wallace was working already. We still have a future. We can like help out a lot of designers to do their clothing. We can do this stuff. We don't really like need him. So the problem was that he wanted to sell the business, and we wanted just to continue working with the customers. So we say, you know what, we can buy the business from you. Well, he said he wanted $150,000 for the business, but we didn't have $150,000 to start the business. So we offered him $50,000 for the machinery, and then also that he can stay with us and working together, so he can feel like he could be still, part of the company. But he said, no, I just want to finish. I just want to retire myself. So I say to Peter, I already had I said, you know what? It's been a while that I already have the machinery. I already have bought some machinery, some other factories that they were closing. I bought the platter, and we had already the Gerber program to start. So I said, you know what? If he don't want us anymore, it's fine. We can just start our own business. So, he fired Peter, and he said, you know what? I don't need you anymore. I just, So people used to come and ask me, John, how much money does this machine really makes? the grading and work. And I say, he say, you both say the machine could do $20,000 and we could do 10,000. I say, he's right, my boss is right. You could do 10,000, you could do 5,000, or you could do more, or you could do nothing. Because it doesn't depend on how much machinery you got. It depends on who's running your machine and how many customers you have. So he said, and so the guy start thinking, he said, you know what? How many customers do you have? I say, that's not a question that I have to answer. You have to talk to my boss about it. So, but at that time we already had decided so that we don't want to be part of like somebody else own the company. And so we just started to put our own company and start JPW. It's gonna be 18 years now. It's coming year. Right now we're 17, so next year it's gonna be 18 years that JPW exists.
My name is Michael Dominguez. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Started working with JPW early 2020 when the pandemic started to break out. John had started to work from home, and so we worked a few months together, like during quarantine. So
after the pandemic, a few months later, he started coming. I didn't ask him, okay. He comes, he used to come every day. And then I say to Peter, you know what, we need a delivery. Michael is coming every day. Do you want us to hire him? I say, of course. He speaks English, and he wants somebody to speak like understanding what he wants. I like him. Let's let him start.
JPW was just operating from home pretty much, and so at that time, it was a chance to for me to understand more or less what he does for a living and what he's been doing his whole life pretty much. Yeah, so I was pretty interested in, basically it was like a chance to learn what he did. So I was really interested in helping him out and helping out JPW, and that's how I'm here now. Pretty much most of my life I grew up playing soccer, and I thought that was gonna be my profession, but I ended up just being here. I love being an athlete, practicing, but now just changed paths. I decided to stay here. So for starting in 2020, I just pretty much did what I could until I could start to learn the craftsmanship, the trade of cutting, sewing, making patterns, pretty much understanding how to do a garment from scratch all the way to the end. It took pretty much a lot of learning from everyone around me. I started to understand the business side a little bit more, and once I got the idea of that, kind of just put social media into the picture. I think that's no choice nowadays. You definitely have to be on social media, especially in this field.
Michael. Well, Michael is really into the social media thing, and he brings up he's talking about what to do, how to go about doing it. And I said, no, go to your father. They're telling me. But he made that, he's a little niche in it, and then it brings up to date to the young people of his age coming in and doing. So you got that communication when they walk in. It's easy to talk to them. They ask you to finish his conversation, get some information. Michael, he's in the computer. We're not that savvy in computer. Yeah, I gotta give him credit that a lot of word of mouth, but now there's not a lot of people that's on, all of TikTok and all that stuff. And Michael knows how to reach out to him. And the one redesigner comes in.
I mean, things have been getting really busy. We definitely have see a lot of new faces, a lot of emerging designers that they're looking to start a clothing brand, and I think this is the perfect spot to go. Essentially, whether whatever budget you're starting with, we could definitely advise you on how to start your own brand. Yeah.
Whenever Instagram started, I asked somebody to help me to make a JPW account. And I was kind of posting a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But then nothing was happening. I had probably over 6-7 years, probably I had 200 or 300 followers. And for us, connect with the people is also one of the important things because people need to know what you do. So, one day I just say, Michael, you know what? You got to take over the Instagram account. He said, the way to do it is not really promote ourselves. The way to do it is really tell people where to go and how to do things, where to get things. So he said, you know what? He really started in probably a month and a half. He was going to the store and show the people what kind of fabric. Oh, here is where you can find spandex. Here's where you can find denim fabrics. And here is where you can do. And so people can come to us that way. So if you really, you need to connect with people. So that, and I think within 3 months, he already had more than 5,000 people following him. And he just so you know what? I'm gonna show people more. I gotta show people where to do embroidery. I want to show people where to do buttonholes, where to do keyholes, where to do snaps. So his idea was just to give people ideas, so that people can actually put together, and then we can get more customers, that we can serve more customers, rather than just we make this garment. And as JPW, we are a service. We can't really show full pieces made because for the most part, the customer own their own styles. So what we really do is show part of the process. And so when JPW makes something, it's just for the most part, is to give other people ideas. You see this.
Sure, I say that so I would say in the long run, we definitely want to get more people involved, more people to be able to work with us here at JPW. And I mean, the best way to do that is if you understand how it works, how to really, how clothes are made, understanding the fabrics, understanding basically from an idea all the way to the final thing, pretty much.
So then he started working with us and he started liking it. He really want to make patterns. He really want to make his own clothes. He really want to make different things so people can see and have ideas. So I say, you know what? I mean, I really think I didn't ask him Michael, come to work with me. So it's for me, it was a surprise. He started working I didn't even realize when he was already part of JPW, to be honest. But he became just as important as everybody that's been here for the longest. And I'm really proud of him being proud. I mean, we all proud. He does whatever you need. You need help in sewing, he will help you sewing. If you need help cutting, he will help cutting. He would need digitizing pattern, he will do it. So yeah, he became probably, I don't know if the most important, but everybody's important.
So someone that's coming up for the first time, and I would sit down with him, talk to him. Sometimes John would, depending on whatever you want. If you just want me to make a pattern, I could do that and explain it. But if you just want something made and cut, John handles that part of it. Then if you want to produce it, producing, you talk on 20, 30 pieces. You don't go producing 20, 30 pieces. 2 or 3, But it's very expensive. The market is not really used to be, you can do a couple of things here and there. It's expensive. And we have to teach them, and sometimes we take we cut our price. It's your first time. But remember what we just taught you. Research. Get your own little wheel, put down novelties, ask questions where novelty places at, so they can get a better price. Go in the mood, not consider all your purchase. The mood used to be good, but the quality of fabric that we see coming out of it now, But you don't want to hurt your pocket.
I hope it comes back. I mean, I'm hoping, you know, if we pressure the companies enough, maybe they'll come back. Because we can handle it. We got states here because I don't mind shipping stuff to different states, you know. But that was the whole thing. What made the Garment Center is the manufacturers. You know, the custom stuff is one time, two time thing. It's not like people come up and they make a custom made and they do a custom thing, and then, you know, they're trying to do something. They're investing. They're trying to make their prototypes, you know, but they don't realize how much money it costs before they do it. And then when we started a company called Zara Therese, not Zara Therese. She used to do accessories. Then she came here with the leggings and children's stuff, and we did all her work. We did all her work, printing and patterns, all that was great. She got so big she went to China, but she usually sends us a bottle like every year because she knows that we start, you know.
Okay.
They get too big. They get too big, and it's not good. They don't want them to get too big. You want them to get it good. I have some other customers I work for. Their numbers are getting bigger this year. I don't want to get too big because they go overseas. You know? And they go overseas, then what are we good for? You know?
We can solve that.
So yeah, we have a project that we want everyone to be a part of. It's like a project where essentially you could have no experience in fashion or something like personal for yourself, but typically we just want to show what we can do here at JPW for you. So if you're looking to start a brand, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be guiding from an idea all the way to the final sample pretty much. And that's all going to be courtesy of JPW. Just to show there's nothing too complex, or whatever idea anyone can come up with. Lucky winner could definitely be able to make a sample here. Yeah.
Hidden, I can't find you.
If you see me in the street, don't be afraid to speak. If you see me on the street, don't be afraid to speak.